What started as just another messy night in the love and hip-hop universe has turned into one of the most shocking celebrity bombshells of the year. Because Rasheeda just did the unthinkable. In a move that has left fans speechless and industry insiders scrambling, Rasheeda has allegedly leaked Tamar Braxton's secret pregnancy. A truth Tamar herself had been desperately trying to keep under wraps. And if that wasn't chaotic enough, Yandy Smith, the self-proclaimed boss chick who prides herself on keeping it all together, reportedly broke down in tears when the news hit the cast. Yes, you heard that right. Tamar Braxton, who has been battling heartbreaks, high-profile drama, and non-stop rumors about her private life, is now at the center of a scandal that she never wanted made public. And the person behind it all, none other than Rasheeda, the same Rasheeda who's been clinging to her boss chick image while fighting off her own storms with Kirk Frost. The streets are saying this wasn't just a messy slip of the tongue. It was deliberate, calculated, and maybe even revenge-driven. But why would Rasheeda expose Tamar like this? Why was Yandy, of all people, pushed to tears over it? And most importantly, what does this mean for Tamar's career, her relationships, and the fragile alliances in the love and hip-hop universe? Trust me, y'all, this isn't just tea. This is boiling hot lava spilling everywhere. And by the end of this, you'll see why this leak might go down as one of the dirtiest betrayals reality TV has ever seen. To really understand why Rasheeda's alleged leak of Tamar Braxton's secret pregnancy is shaking the internet, you have to rewind the messy history of everyone involved. Because trust me, this wasn't just a random slip-up. It was the kind of betrayal that feels almost inevitable in the love and hip-hop universe. First, let's talk about Tamar Braxton. Tamar is no stranger to chaos. As the youngest of the Braxton sisters, she's been in the public eye for decades, balancing music, reality TV, public breakups, and very personal struggles that have played out in front of millions. Fans know Tamar for her loud personality, her unfiltered honesty, and her ability to always bounce back no matter what life throws her way. But along with that resilience comes vulnerability. Tamar has spoken openly about her battles with love, heartbreak, and even her mental health, which made her fans fiercely protective of her. Pregnancy rumors have followed Tamar for years, and she's always treated that subject delicately. It's not something she wanted dragged through the mud of blogs and gossip pages, and certainly not something she wanted weaponized on national television. That's why when whispers started circulating that she might be expecting again, Tamar kept it tight-lipped, playing coy in interviews and carefully dodging questions. She wanted control of her own narrative. Enter Rasheeda. Fans have seen Rasheeda's own messy journey play out on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta for years, from building her boss chick brand to fighting through Kirk Frost's cheating scandals. Rasheeda has lived her life on camera, and while she's often painted herself as a survivor, her critics accuse her of being just as messy as the people she drags. Rasheeda has a history of inserting herself into drama that doesn't directly involve her, and this time, it looks like she may have gone too far, according to insiders. Rasheeda and Tamar had been circling each other socially for a while. They weren't exactly besties, but they weren't enemies either. They shared mutual friends in the industry, crossed paths at events, and occasionally exchanged polite words. But behind the scenes, sources claim Rasheeda wasn't thrilled with how much attention Tamar always seemed to get. Where Rasheeda had to fight for headlines, Tamar could sneeze and have the blogs talking about her. That low-key tension allegedly fueled Rasheeda's decision to leak something Tamar desperately wanted to keep private. And then there's Yandy Smith. Yandy's whole image has always been built around being the steady one, the organizer, the boss who can juggle family business and drama without ever truly breaking. But in recent seasons, cracks have been showing. Jessica Dime dragged her for covering up Mendice's mess. Allegations of shady finances popped up, and her perfect wife narrative has been slipping. Still, Yandy has tried to hold her head high, often taking on the role of mediator when the rest of the cast spirals into chaos. So why did this scandal break her? According to witnesses, Yandy wasn't just upset for Tamar. She was devastated by what Rasheeda did because, to her, Leaking a pregnancy wasn't just messy reality TV fodder. It was crossing a sacred line. Yandy, who has built her brand around motherhood and protecting her family, saw this as the lowest of the low. That's why, when the news broke, she reportedly broke down in tears, calling Rasheeda's move disgusting and unforgivable. But here's where the context gets even juicier. Because in love and hip-hop, nothing is ever isolated. This betrayal didn't happen in a vacuum. It's tangled in years of jealousy, resentment, and alliances that shift every season. Tamar represents outside fame, the kind of star power Rasheeda never quite achieved. By leaking her secret, Rasheeda put herself back in the headlines, even if it meant burning bridges. And Yandy, who's been fighting to maintain her credibility after her own scandals, saw this as another nail in the coffin for the franchise's so-called sisterhood. Fans are already debating whether Rasheeda's move was intentional sabotage, an accidental slip, or a calculated play to stir up ratings. But one thing is clear, this wasn't just gossip. This was a targeted hit that blew up alliances and exposed just how fragile the trust between these women really is. And with Tamar's private life now dragged into the mess, and Yandy publicly breaking down, the stage is set for one of the ugliest wars the love and hip-hop universe has ever seen. Because the question on everyone's lips is, if Rasheeda can betray Tamar like this, safe from her next leak. The internet nearly broke in half when Rasheeda allegedly spilled Tamar Braxton's secret pregnancy. What should have been Tamar's most private, most intimate announcement turned into public spectacle overnight, and the fallout was so messy, it shook not only Tamar, but the entire love and hip-hop cast to the core. It all started at what was supposed to be a lighthearted filming session. According to production insiders, the cast was gathered for a casual dinner scene. When Rasheeda, sipping her drink with that sly boss chick smirk, let it slip, "Y'all sitting here acting shocked? But Tamar, pregnant. That's why she been hiding out." The room went silent. Forks hit plates. Heads whipped around. Tamar's face, witnesses say, went pale. This was her truth, her story to tell, and Rasheeda had just weaponized it in front of cameras. Castmates and crew, Tamar immediately shut down. Sources claim she muttered, "That's not your business to tell," before storming out of the scene, leaving Rasheeda sitting there unfazed. But while Tamar left in silence, Yandy's reaction was anything but quiet. She reportedly burst into tears, calling Rasheeda's move heartless and disgusting. For Yandy, who had always drawn a line between shade and personal violations, this was crossing into unforgivable territory. Jessica Dime, who was also present, allegedly jumped in to fuel the fire. "Rasheeda, you know damn well that ain't your news. Why you always so desperate to stay relevant?" Carly Red clapped her hands and screamed, "Messy! I live for IT," stirring the pot even more. Suddenly, the dinner table turned into a shouting match, with Rasheeda standing her ground against the entire cast. But Rasheeda wasn't backing down. Instead of apologizing, she doubled down. "Everybody want to call me messy, but y'all sit here hiding secrets like this ain't reality TV. We all signed up for this. Ain't nobody safe when cameras are rolling." That statement alone set Twitter ablaze. Fans dragged Rasheeda for being cold-blooded and jealous of Tamar's spotlight. One viral tweet read, "So Rasheeda had to expose Tamar because her own storyline is tired. Embarrassing." Others accused her of deflection, claiming she wanted to distract from Kirk Frost's never-ending scandals. Meanwhile, Tamar broke her silence in the most Tamar way possible through a cryptic Instagram story. She posted a black screen with the words, "The devil works overtime, but my God works harder." The post fueled speculation without confirming anything. But her fans, the Tamartians, went into full attack mode. They flooded Rasheeda's page with snake emojis and comments like, "You're canceled. Why would you play with Tamar's womb like that? Some things are sacred. Pregnancy ain't your punchline." The twist, however, came hours later when a gossip blog dropped leaked audio from the set. In the clip, you can clearly hear Tamar's voice breaking as she says, That was supposed to be my moment. Y'all turned it into a circus." And then, faintly, Yandy's voice sobbing in the background. "This is too much. We're not supposed to do each other like this." The leak sent fans into a frenzy. Now, it wasn't just rumor. There was proof Tamar was blindsided. Proof Yandy had broken down, and proof Rasheeda didn't care. Blogs plastered the headlines. Rasheeda exposes Tamar's pregnancy in explosive scene. Cast reacts in horror. Yandy in tears as Rasheeda crosses the line. But the conflict didn't end there. A second layer of drama emerged when insiders claimed Tamar had confided in Rasheeda privately weeks earlier, swearing her to secrecy. Allegedly, Tamar told her during an off-camera moment, trusting that Rasheeda would keep her secret until she was ready to announce. That trust, fans say. It's exactly what Rasheeda shattered when she turned it into TV fodder. That revelation flipped the entire narrative. Now, Rasheeda wasn't just messy. She was a backstabber. The betrayal cut deep, not just for Tamar, but for everyone who had ever considered Rasheeda a sister in the industry. And then came the first twist that blew the storyline wide open. Rumors surfaced that producers encouraged Rasheeda to spill Tamar's secret. According to whispers, Tamar's pregnancy was known behind the scenes, and producers allegedly pressured Rasheeda to bring it up on camera for maximum shock value. One insider told a blog they knew Tamar would never say it herself. They needed someone messy enough to do it. Rasheeda was the pawn. Fans went wild. Was Rasheeda really this cold? Or was she manipulated by producers desperate for ratings? Either way, the damage was done. Tamar's privacy was gone. Yandy's tears were immortalized. And Rasheeda was left holding the bag, branded as the villain of the season. But here's where it gets even messier. Tamar's team reportedly began considering legal options against both Rasheeda and production, claiming her medical privacy had been violated. If true, this wasn't just drama. This was about to be a courtroom-level scandal. And yet Rasheeda seemed unbothered. Days later, she went live on Instagram, shrugging off the backlash with the line, "Y'all mad now, but you'll thank me later when the truth comes out. I said what I said." That single line ignited a million questions. What truth was Rasheeda hinting at? Did she know more than she was letting on? Was Tamar's pregnancy hiding a deeper story? Or was Rasheeda just digging her hole deeper? Whatever the case, the feud was no longer just personal. It was public, viral, and threatening to tear the franchise apart. And the fallout wasn't stopping here. Because the shocking reveal still to come would turn this from betrayal into a loud war. The fallout from Rasheeda's bombshell didn't just simmer, it detonated like a grenade. In the middle of the Love and Hip Hop universe, Tamar Braxton's alleged pregnancy was supposed to be her sacred private moment. And now it was ripped wide open for blogs, castmates, and millions of fans to consume. But as if the betrayal itself wasn't messy enough, the days following Rasheeda's leak turned into an avalanche of receipts, cryptic posts, and revelations that made this scandal even uglier than anyone imagined. At first, Tamar tried to take the high road. Her initial posts were vague, full of faith-driven captions like "God's timing is perfect and silence is the loudest clapback." But behind the scenes, insiders claimed Tamar was livid. She reportedly told close friends she felt humiliated and robbed of her chance to share her news on her own terms. One source told a gossip blog, "Tamar doesn't mind being messy when it's about music or relationships, but this was too personal. She trusted Rasheeda and she got stabbed in the back." Fans could see the hurt. Tamar unfollowed Rasheeda on Instagram, and her sisters posted cryptic supportive messages. Toni Braxton wrote, "Family first. Protect your peace," while Trina chimed in with, "No loyalty in these streets." Suddenly, the entire Braxton family seemed to be rallying around Tamar, signaling that this wasn't just reality TV beef, this was personal. Meanwhile, Rasheeda tried to play unbothered, but fans weren't buying it. On IG Live, she casually shrugged and said, "It's love and hip-hop, y'all. We all put our lives out there. Don't act like I did something unheard of." But instead of cooling things down, her words made it worse. Critics accused her of hiding behind the show's format to excuse a blatant betrayal. One viral comment read, "Rasheeda hiding behind production," when the truth is, she was jealous Tamar had. Storyline bigger than her. But then the shocking reveal dropped. A gossip blogger claimed to have obtained text messages between Rasheeda and a producer that allegedly showed Rasheeda was encouraged to leak Tamar's pregnancy. The texts read, "We need you to spice it up. Tamar's storyline can't stay hidden." Another reply allegedly from Rasheeda, "Y'all sure about this? She gon' kill me." To which the producer allegedly responded, "We'll handle Tamar. You just drop it on camera." The screenshots went viral instantly. Fans were torn. Some said it proved Rasheeda was just a pawn in production's game, while others argued it didn't matter. She still said it out loud. She still betrayed Tamar, and she still chose to protect ratings over her so-called friendship. But Tamar wasn't letting Rasheeda hide behind producers. She fired back with a scorched earth Instagram Live. Tears streaming down her face, Tamar said, "I trusted that woman. I sat in her face, told her my truth, and she went and made it TV fodder. Producers or not, you had a choice, and you chose to sell me out." That live broke the internet. Fans flooded timelines with #TeamTamar hashtags demanding Rasheeda apologize. Some even called for her to be dropped from the show. Tamar supporters, the Tamartians, swarmed Rasheeda's comments, promising to cancel every business she owned. And then came Yandy, already shaken at the dinner scene. Yandy spoke up during filming again, and this time she reportedly lost it. In a leaked clip from set, Yandy was seen sobbing, telling Rasheeda, "We're supposed to protect each other as women, as mothers. What you did wasn't just messy, it was cruel." The clip cut off with Yandy storming off set, makeup smeared, leaving Rasheeda sitting in silence. Fans immediately turned Yandy's breakdown into the emotional heart of the scandal. One fan wrote, "Yandy crying felt like all of us. This wasn't just TV drama. This was betrayal on a human level." Another posted, "Say what you want about Yandy, but she was right. Some lines shouldn't be crossed." But here's where the scandal twisted even darker. New rumor surfaced. Tamar's pregnancy wasn't just a personal secret. It was allegedly complicated. Some whispers claimed Tamar was hiding it because the father wasn't who fans thought. Others said she was waiting to announce until after securing a major brand deal tied to motherhood. Whatever the truth, the speculation made the situation even more humiliating because Rasheeda hadn't just exposed a pregnancy. She'd cracked open a box Tamar wasn't ready for the world to open. Blogs began running headlines like, "Was Tamar Braxton's pregnancy supposed to be a surprise partnership?" Rasheeda's leak may have cost Tamar millions. The more the rumors swirled, the more Rasheeda became the villain of the story. Even her own fans struggled to defend her. And while she continued to insist it was just reality TV, Tamar's emotional live and Yandy's public tears made her look cold, calculating, and heartless. By now, alliances were fractured. Cast members whispered on social media, some siding with Tamar, others with Rasheeda. Jessica Dime tweeted, "If you call yourself a boss chick, at least act like one. Bosses don't stab sisters in the back." It's Carly read, "Never want to miss an opportunity for chaos." Posted laughing emojis with the caption, "Everybody's so sensitive these days." This is LHH, baby, and fans. They were divided into armies. #Team Tamar, #Team Yandy, #Team Mess. The comment wars were vicious, with thousands weighing in on whether Rasheeda was a pawn, a villain, or both. But the real nail in the coffin came when whispers of legal action started spreading. Tamar's camp allegedly reached out to lawyers, citing invasion of privacy and potential financial damages. If true, Rasheeda's messy moment could spiral into a real-life lawsuit that threatened not just her brand, but VH1 itself. which left one terrifying question hanging in the air. Was this still reality TV drama? Or was Rasheeda's betrayal about to turn into a career-ending, courtroom-level scandal? The public didn't just react to Rasheeda's betrayal, they detonated. Within hours of Tamar's tearful live, Twitter turned into a war zone. Hashtags like #ShameOn, RASHEEDA, and #ProtectTamar trended worldwide, fueled by clips of Yandy sobbing and Rasheeda's smug IG live that felt more like gasoline on fire than damage control. Fans weren't just gossiping. They were furious. One viral tweet read, "Imagine carrying a child and losing the right to announce it on your own terms because your friend wanted camera time. Rasheeda is canceled." Another piled on, "This isn't entertainment. This is cruelty. Tamar deserved better." Instagram was worse. Rasheeda's boutique page got flooded with snake emojis. Fans bombarded her comments. "How you gone sell women empowerment clothes while tearing down another woman?" Others tagged Tamar, urging her to sue. Some even dug up old clips of Rasheeda calling herself a ride-or-die friend, captioning it with, "Guess the ride stopped at betrayal station." And the celebrity reactions. Oh, they were messy. K. Michelle, never one to bite her tongue. Even Wendy Williams, still doing commentary from her podcast circle, threw in, "Baby, this ain't Love and Hip Hop anymore. This is Love and Hip Hurt. Tamar deserves to tell her truth." Rasheeda should have known better. But while celebrities dragged Rasheeda, others in the industry were whispering about a much bigger concern: sponsors. Behind the scenes, word spread that at least two of Rasheeda's business partners were reconsidering deals. A hair care brand allegedly put a collaboration on pause after Tamar's fans flooded their page demanding they drop Rasheeda. One insider spilled to a blog, "Brands don't like mess. They love visibility, but not when it looks like cruelty." Rasheeda might have cost herself a bag just for a storyline. Meanwhile, Tamar's team leaned into the scandal. Instead of staying silent, Tamar began resharing fan posts defending her, essentially weaponizing public sympathy. One of her reposts read, "No woman should have her pregnancy used as a storyline. We love you, Tamar." By amplifying fans' voices, Tamar positioned herself as the victim hero, gaining even more love, while Rasheeda became the villain of the season. But the reaction wasn't 100% one-sided. Believe it or not, some fans actually defended Rasheeda, arguing she was set up. "This is reality TV." One tweet read, "Producers wanted it out, Rasheeda just took the bullet." Others added, "Tamar knows what she signed up for. You can't sign on for Love and Hip Hop and then expect privacy." This sparked heated debates across social media, with thousands going back and forth. Was Rasheeda a snake or just a pawn in Moana Scott Young's game? Then came Yandy. Her tearful breakdown became the centerpiece of fan discourse. People weren't just talking about Tamar's betrayal anymore. They were praising Yandy's compassion. "Say what you want about Yandy, but she was the only one with a heart," one fan tweeted. Another added, "Yandy crying was the most real moment Love and Hip Hop has had in years." That moment did more than just win fans. It shifted the power dynamics on the show. Insiders claimed producers were now eyeing Yandy as the moral compass of the season, giving her more airtime and even considering her for spin-off opportunities. In other words, Rasheeda's betrayal might have accidentally made Yandy the star. But let's not forget the entertainment industry itself. Tabloids went wild with the scandal. Blogs like The Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, and Bossip ran back-to-back updates. Headlines screamed, "Tamar betrayed, Rasheeda exposes. Pregnancy on camera, and Yandy breaks down as friendship explodes on set." Even mainstream outlets picked it up. People ran a watered-down piece titled, "Tamar Braxton's Pregnancy Leak Sparks Love and Hip Hop Chaos," while Page 6 framed it as, "Tamar's secret revealed amid cast betrayal." And the wildest reaction. Fans started a petition demanding Rasheeda be removed from Love and Hip Hop within 48 hours. The petition had over 50,000 signatures. Whether VH1 takes it seriously or not, The sheer number showed how deeply fans felt about the betrayal. The industry was now watching closely. Would Tamar use this scandal to pivot into a redemption arc, gaining sympathy and brand deals? Would Rasheeda be blacklisted as the villain and lose business? And would Yandy's teary compassion turn her into the new face of the franchise? The public had made their judgment. Tamar was the wronged queen, Yandy the loyal sister, and Rasheeda the snake. But as with all things love and hip-hop, nothing stays the same for long. Because behind the curtain, there were whispers that Tamar herself had secrets. Ones that, if exposed, could flip this whole narrative upside down. And that's when fans started asking, was Rasheeda's betrayal just the beginning of a much bigger storm? Just when fans thought the narrative was set in stone. Tamar as the wronged angel, Rasheeda as the snake, and Yandy as the tearful peacemaker, a chilling new rumor surfaced that flipped the entire scandal on its head. Because what if Tamar's pregnancy wasn't the sacred secret everyone thought it was? What if the very thing Rasheeda betrayed wasn't as clean-cut as Tamar wanted the world to believe? 2 days after Tamar's emotional Instagram Live, a gossip blog dropped what they called exclusive receipts. They claimed Tamar's pregnancy announcement was never meant to be private at all. In fact, it was allegedly supposed to be a publicity stunt tied to a secret deal with a streaming platform. We need to hear from you. Whose side are you on? Are you #team TAMAR, believing she was robbed of her most sacred moment and deserves compassion no matter what? Or are you riding with #team RASHEED, convinced she's the only one bold enough to expose the fakery that's been bubbling behind the cameras for years? And don't forget Yandy, the woman caught in the middle, shedding real tears in what might be the most authentic moment this franchise has ever seen. Was she a hero, a pawn, or just another victim in this twisted storyline? Drop your thoughts, your theories, and your wildest conspiracies in the comments right now. Because trust me, the producers are watching. The cast is lurking. And your voice matters more than you think. And before you go, smash that like button, like Rasheeda smashing Tamar's secret wide open. Subscribe so you never miss a single messy update. And ring that notification bell, because if you think this was explosive, baby, the reunion is rumored to be on another level. I'm talking receipts, exposed text messages, and a possible walkout that could shut the whole thing down live on air. Stay tuned, fam, because this isn't just drama. This is history in the making, and we're only scratching the surface.